So the rundown is you got the washer, the axle nut, cotter pin. You got this brake drum rod, I guess, and this bolt. The head sinks into the back of the drum here. It comes through, and you got a washer, a lock washer, the nut, and the cotter pin. You got the brake rod, spring, the twist nut. So all you got to do, and then there's the clamp, which is 10 millimeter. So you got a 12 millimeter nut here, 10 millimeter nut here. You just loosen this, you don't take it out. You take this nut off, you push your rear foot brake, and the rod will pop out. And this side's loose. Take off the axle, take out the cotter pin, take off the axle nut, the washer, tap that through. This is loose, of course, the 10 millimeter. And you pull the axle rod out, and that's all there is to it. You just put everything back together. Easy peasy. You got a new tire, new brakes. And we'll do the front tomorrow. Putting a new rear tire and brakes on this 1995 Virago. It's not as complicated as it looks. You got a little cotter pin and the nut down here. And there's a cotter pin on the nut of the axle shaft here. Take this one out first. Use a pair of needle nose and a flat screwdriver is the easiest way to do it. Depends how the last person bend them, is how hard it is to get it out. There's a 22 millimeter socket. You want to take this nut off first. It shouldn't be very hard. Yeah, they break loose pretty easy. It'll be just the axle nut and the one washer. That's all that's on this side. Put them somewhere you don't lose them. And you come over to this side, you pull out the little cotter pin on the lower nut. That's just a bolt and a nut holding it there to the frame to keep the brake hub from spinning. You pull the little cotter pin out. And on this one there's a 12 millimeter nut. Take that off. And the head of the nut sinks into the frame thing from the other side. So you can either just push that bolt out or do like I do and just hit it with a screwdriver till it falls loose. Now the brake, It's just got that spinner on the end of the adjuster. Take that off. That usually gets pretty rusty, so it takes a little bit to get that off. When you're done, you want to oil that, clean it and oil it a little bit. That way you won't have that problem next time. Once you get that little spinner off, you just kind of push down on the foot brake and the rod should pop out. The spring has tension, but not a lot of tension, so it shouldn't shoot off anywhere. You slide the rod out of there. I didn't take that lower nut out yet, so I'm going to chisel that now. I just hit it with a screwdriver and it pops loose. It's been a while since anything's been broken loose on this one. That's all there is. The axle nut, the lower brake hub nut, and the brake rod. That's all that's holding it. Then you got the little clamp there on the frame. You have to loosen that. That's 10 millimeter. You don't have to take it all the way out, just loosen it up a lot. Then you just tap the axle rod out. Now you don't want to hit that hard with the 5-pound hammer and mess up the end of the axle rod and the treads. So if it doesn't go easy, you want to grab something softer. I just use the let me make sure this is loose enough. I use the plastic handle of a screwdriver between the hammer and the, get that knocked flush. And it still doesn't want to pull right out, so as you grab a 1/4 inch extension. First I try with the screwdriver, which was a bad idea. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Unless it's all you got. But if you got a 1/4 inch extension, it works great. Still won't pull out there. So now I'm gonna wise up and grab the extension. There it is. That just knocks it right out. Small enough not to get stuck, but gives it a good smacking surface. You slide the rod out. There'll be one washer between the brake hub and the frame there that goes on the axle rod. The brake hub's loose now. Yeah, all you got to do is slide it off the spline where it goes onto the gear drive. Sometimes they pop right off, and sometimes you gotta give them a little help. Yeah, it won't pull off. So the easiest way to do this Alright, come on, man. Quit messing around. Playing with the brake drum. Like you're gonna get that out with it between the frame. Pull, pull, pull. Come on, man. Yeah. Here's the easiest way to do it right here. Just swift kick. Boom. There you see it drops right off there. It doesn't pull out under the fender. That center stand didn't hold it up high enough. I can squeeze it out though, but I gotta remove the license plate holder. That's hanging down way too low. You look for things like that before you get started usually, but I don't know. I just usually start doing things and go as I go. Yeah, that ain't coming out. Just take it off, man. It's only two nuts holding that license plate holder on there, so. Pull the brake hub out. Look at the brakes, they're pretty well gone. A lot of dust. Burnt grease, so I'll re-grease all that before I put it back in. Well, not in there, not the bearing on the inside, not the not the brake. Alright, tires off. Now it's time to break the bead. I just use a twisty jack and under the frame of the van. Just use that to push it down. Of course, having one with a different kind of handle under when you're in that tight space would be a little easier, but that works okay. Just keep going and make sure you're not on the rim. Eventually it'll pop it. Come on, pop already. There it goes. Then once that pops, you just step on the rest of it and it'll come right loose. And sometimes both sides will break, and sometimes you gotta flip it over and do the other side. Same deal. Probably should cut a lot of this, just twisting the jack. Alright, now you're ready to pull the tire off the rim. On this I use 3 screwdrivers or tire spoons if you got them. I got them, I just can't find them. So I just use the screwdrivers. It'd be nice to have more bigger screwdrivers. I only got one big one with me. But use the big one to get it popped over the rim, the first half. These tires are pretty solid. So once you get that first start, then it goes pretty easy from there. Then you just hold that down, usually with your knee or your. Then you just kind of walk it with the other screwdrivers. Stay close to the gap and it'll pop out easier. And you just take the other one and walk it around. And of course, it's a lot easier if you got one of those like cheap Harbor Freight tire changer things or something. Should get one, but I don't change tires very often, so. Now the inside one, this one's a little tougher to get started. But you do basically the same thing, you just do it from the inside. Just get it started with the big one and then walk it around. A little more awkward because you got to hold it up in the air, but that's the point where you need a little patience. Don't want to scuff up the rim. Be a lot easier with tire spoons too, though. I don't know where I should clean out the shop, I guess. Someday. Once you get it to the halfway point, just kind of pull it off the rim and you're good to go. Now I'll replace the brakes and the little brake hub here. They come pretty well. Just the section that you just pop it on. They're just so much easier in the car, huh? You just pop the old ones out. They're just kind of squeezed on there. Just pop that out. Out with the old. Dump all the old dust out. Should spray it off with some brake cleaner, but I don't have any handy, so. And you just pop the new ones on. Doesn't matter which way they go. I was looking to see if there was one side or the other. They just pop right on there. Springs are a little strong, but nothing unmanageable. In fact, the back spring pops off, and that makes it a whole lot easier. And you just got to put the spring back on. Clamp it in place. Put the spring back on. Should have just took those off in the first place. It would have been easier, but still nothing to it. They are strong little buggers, though. Just get the end piece to catch, then you just knock it on in there. Boom. And voila, brakes are changed. The Virago having the mechanical rear brake makes it a little easier. Wipe all the old grease off and dirt.
Sorry, buddy.
I say it'd be a good idea to clean all this stuff up with some brake cleaner or something, but the new tires, they put a lot of stickers on these buggers. Now to put the tire on the rim, there's an arrow on the side of the tire that shows you the direction of rotation, so you know which way to put it on. The easiest way to do this is you catch the whole tire under the first part of the rim. Then you put your knees on there to hold it in place, and you use a big screwdriver or tire spoon to pop it on, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Okay. Get in there, get in there.
You want to pop them both in at the same time, not try one side and then the other. It's a lot easier if you do them both at once.
Oh, shit.
If your screwdriver don't get away from you. These tires, man, they are pretty solid little buggers, man. Takes a lot to stretch them over.
No, I think we're gonna make it. All right. Oh, there we go.
And Beulah, tires on.
Holy snot balls.
Since this is a tubeless tire,
Not something we want to make a habit of, is it?
there's a lot of airspace between that and the rim, so if you got a high power compressor or something, it'll just pop it up. I don't have a high power, so I tried to do it with the one I got.
To blow it up.
It just keeps blowing the air out the sides. It doesn't hit it hard enough. No blast to it. And the way you remedy this, it's a tip I got from my neighbor. You just get a ratchet strap, put around the center of the tire. You crank that down, it spreads it out and seals it to the rim enough for the air to hold into it. It works awesome. So if you don't have if you have a ratchet strap and you don't have the high power compressor, you can still get it done. Just airs it right up. Wait for the beads to pop.
Like a charm.
You just take the strap off and you're ready to roll. And clean off where the gear set goes.
Understood that there.
Clean off the brake.
Okay.
I just use disc brake grease here. Put it on the where the splines intersect. A little bit in the bearing. Now, get the tire back under that fender. This one went in a lot easier than the other one come out. Once you get that in there, you drop your brake hub back on there. The new brakes is a little snug, so you just have to tap it in a little bit. There's no way to adjust anything. It's just as small as it's gonna get. So I just give it some taps around the outer edge with the 5-pounder. Probably be better to use a rubber mallet, but I'm not hitting it hard, so it's just kind of tapping it in. Now that the brake hub seated, now you gotta lift it up and try and get that gear to set in.
Getting it back up into the gear,
Yeah.
I don't know about this. Okay.
If it doesn't set in real easy, then it's easier to just grab the axle shaft and put that through. Don't forget that washer goes between the frame and the brake hub. Come on, get in there. There it goes. Just tap it through to the other side. Once the threads are through, you put the axle shaft washer and nut on, and you just tighten it till it pulls everything together. Put the frame bolt on the other side, the little one where the head sinks into the frame, the washer, the lock washer, and the cotter pin. Put the cotter pin in on the axle shaft. Put your brake rod through, put your twist nut on there. Tighten down the clamp, don't forget to do that, and you're done. That's it.